What's going on, everybody? This is Brian from SneakerFiles.com, recapping the news. Like always, we got some stuff to talk about in this video, and before I give you a quick breakdown, greatly appreciate a thumbs up, and if you're new here, make sure to subscribe by hitting the red button below. We just broke 109,000 subscribers, so definitely want to thank everybody for that. My goal for the end of this year was 111,000. Don't ask me why, but we're less than 2,000 away. So again, I do appreciate that. Now, as for some of the highlights, later in the video, I'm going to go over the Air Jordan 11 Bred. I'm going to talk about it a little more in depth, give you guys some updates, and speak on the potential shock drop that everybody's talking about apparently. Also, we have another look at the Air Jordan 11 Metallic Silver and a restock of the Air Jordan 1 Homage to Home, as well as the Satin Black Toe. And that restock is a Taiwan exclusive, so I don't want to get everybody's hopes up and clickbait, anything like that. I did put it in the thumbnail, so hopefully you saw that. Other than that, we got a lot more from Jordan Brand, and the rest is from Nike. And now, without wasting too much more of your time, let's jump into the news. After releasing at ComplexCon, the Nike Sportswear Pop the Street collection will have a wider release. Now, the collection includes the Nike Air Force 1 and the Nike Air Barrage Mid. Both pairs feature various materials throughout, and as you can see, they feature a vibrant theme using blue, purple, red, pink, orange, and yellow. Now, as for a release date, they're going to drop on November 8th via sneakers in Japan and at select Japan retailers on November 9th. Now, currently, it isn't known if the two will release in the States other than the time that they dropped at ComplexCon, but once there's more information on the two, that will go into the following news video. Official images of the Clot Nike Air Force 1 low in blue has arrived, and this shoe has received several release dates. The first took place on October 18th, which was a Clot exclusive at that time, and then a release took place on November 1st in China and Taiwan. Now, a US release is expected to take place, which will be on November 11th. Now, that date has yet to be confirmed, and the retail price is set at $250. Also, one of the highlights of this shoe is that it features a tearaway upper, and once that's removed, it showcases gray. Nike Basketball officially unveiled Kyrie Irving's sixth signature shoe, the Nike Kyrie 6. Now, there's going to be a lot of different colorways we're going to talk about, but first up, I'm going to read some of the press release that will let you know what kind of tech went into the shoe. Featuring a 360-degree grip system to help keep Irving feeling quicker and more connected to the court. Micro textures on the top of the forefoot extend that connection during extreme banking. The Kyrie 6 features a plush foam or Optimum cushion and a smooth underfoot fill at the heel. The midfoot strap offers increased stability and arch support. Despite the aesthetic of the new last, the curved outsole still provides Irving and those who emulate him banked traction to help with court grip, whether banking, cutting, or attacking the basket in drastic degrees. The Kyrie 6 features the same articulated Nike Air Zoom Turbo unit in the forefoot as its predecessor, helping enable responsiveness at all directions. The refined materials, including premium leather and ballistic mesh, promote off-court appeal. A sharply molded heel counter references models worn by Kyrie in his pre-signature PE days and some of his favorite lifestyle silhouettes, aka the Yeezy 2. Irving's signature line continues to reflect some of his personal and spiritual connections. For example, some of the motifs appearing on the Kyrie 6 include the healer's hand, all-seeing eye, number 11, and his mantra, hungry and humble. Like the models before it, will also function as a canvas for unique colorways that offer insight into Irving's emotional and intellectual energy. So like I mentioned, right here we have the Nike Kyrie 6 being called Jet Black. Now this will be a general release. It should be quite easy to obtain, and they drop on November 22nd. Retail price is set at $130. Not only did Nike Basketball unveil the Kyrie 6, but they also unveiled the Kyrie 6 Preheat collection. Now, the collection features a total of 11 models, and all will be a regional release that will be exclusive to the respective city. Now, technically, there's 12 models. I'll talk about the last pair after I go over everything. Kyrie Irving has a special connection to number 11. It begins with his dad, Dredrick Irving, who wore number 11 during his basketball career. Kyrie wore it in high school and does now with Brooklyn. The connection extends to a metaphor for balance and harmony, 1 + 1, that resonates with Kyrie and cascades from there. K is the 11th letter of the alphabet. Kyrie Irving is 11 letters. Irving played 11 games at Duke University. He was drafted round 1, pick 1 in the 2011 NBA draft, and he surpassed the 11,000 point mark on March 11th. With a nod to Irving's globetrotting curiosity and 11 cities with special meaning to him, the Nike Kyrie 6 will debut with a Preheat collection of 11 shoes inspired by 11 cities. Those 11 cities include Beijing, Berlin, Guangzhou, Houston, Los Angeles, Manila, Miami, New York City, Shanghai, Taipei, and Tokyo. Now, I'm going to try to fit every shoe in this segment. Now, if I can't fit them all in, then I'll have a link that will take you to SneakerFiles.com and you can see the rest. Now, for the 12th pair, it's known as Heal the World. It's also part of the Preheat collection. And from my understanding on this pair, this will be a general release, so it'll be available across the world. While the other 11 shoes that I spoke about, those will only be available in the respective city. Now, a release date will take place on November 11th for the entire collection, and the retail price is set at $130. Supreme has recently unveiled their new Nike Air Max 95 Lux Collection, which features 3 colorways, and that includes blue, red, and black. So the black pair comes in all black, while the red and blue pair feature black on the midsole and rubber outsole. In addition, each comes constructed with Italian leather, while Supreme branding is lasered on the sides. They also come with a metal hang tag inspired by the shape of Italy. Now, the entire collection will release exclusively at Supreme New York, Brooklyn, San Francisco, London, Paris, and on their website on November 7th. A release will take place in Japan on November 9th. Retail price is set at $500 each. Currently, it isn't known if they're going to release on Nike sneakers. However, more than likely they're going to. But once there's confirmation on a Nike sneakers release, I'll definitely make sure to let you guys know. Nike also recently unveiled G-Dragon's Air Force 1, known as Paranoids. Recently, we were calling them PEACEMINUSONE, which is G-Dragon's fashion label. But this pair features a unique upper fabrication featuring black painted overlays designed to slowly wear away over time to reveal a personal artwork created by G-Dragon. This year, there's been a lot of wear away or tear away releases, and we got another one coming in December on the Nike SB Air Jordan 1 Low. But reading more from the press release, the artwork conveys a sense of optimism inspired by the singer-songwriter's vision of a world where the youth are unified through creativity and a free exchange of ideas. For G-Dragon, art is an important expression of self that pushes culture forward. I was made by a culture derived by people from the past, he says. Additional embellishments include a daisy embroidered on the tongue and removable custom pins in the upper eyelets. Originally, there was expected to be 2 colorways releasing. However, we only have release information for one, and when Nike put out this press release, they only showed the black and white pair. Now, that pair is set to release on November 23rd, and the retail price will be $200. Now, this is a hybrid of Nike and Jordan brand. Actually, only one pair from Jordan brand and the rest from Nike. And it's also been a busy week as far as press releases go. Nike is showcasing everything they have for the holiday season. However, you can expect the Dornbecker collection to be unveiled soon. And here we have the Nike N7 collection for holiday 2019. Self-representation for me is being authentic to my people and who I am, says Nike designer Tracy Jackson, who created this season's Nike N7 Pendleton pattern inspired by the weavings of her great-grandmother Phoebe Nez. Now a graphic designer at Nike, Jackson is passing along her grandmother's legacy in the 10th anniversary of the Nike N7 collection, honoring heritage through special patterns with Pendleton. Not only is there footwear releasing, but there is a Nike N7 Pendleton 7 Generations blanket, and proceeds will benefit the American Indian College Fund. Now, reading along from the press release as well as breaking down each shoe that's in this collection, at the request of Jackson, a reimagined Nike Air Mach N7 was brought back to the footwear lineup as a descendant from the N7 Free Forward Mach Plus in 2012. Jackson also added the Air Zoom Pegasus 36 N7 Pendleton to commemorate the running womanhood ceremony that's custom among Navajo circles. Featuring a gold suede upper, the Air Force 107 N7 Pendleton references the collection's southwestern color palette. The suede overlay on the Air Jordan 8 N7 Pendleton surrounds the collection's print. Last up is the Zoom Heritage N7 Pendleton, and it arrives in a new colorway and is offered in dual gender sizing along with the other silhouettes, modeling the two-spirit language within the Navajo community, inclusive of all wearers regardless of where they identify on the gender spectrum. The entire Nike N7 Pendleton collection will release at select retailers as well as online at Nike Sneakers on November 7th. In the last video, I showcased a few Air Jordan 1 mid releases that kind of had a similar vibe to past releases, and now we have another Air Jordan 1 mid which somewhat has a royal vibe to them. Not quite, but definitely can see where the inspiration comes. But looking closer, they feature black leather on the overlay, while blue is applied to the toe, Wings logo, swoosh, ankle, tongue, and rubber outsole. Now the last detail on this shoe is a white midsole. At the time of shooting this video, this pair doesn't have a set release date, and more than likely they won't. This is another pair that when retailers get them, they're just going to throw them on the shelf. But when they do become available, the retail price will be $110. Official images of the Maison Chateau, once again, I apologize if I mispronounced that, Air Jordan 1 mid, part of the Fearless collection, has arrived. Prior to this, we had a few images. They were decent, but this definitely gives us a very detailed look. This pair also pays tribute to the founder's roots, while highlighted with hand-stitched detailing throughout. Other details includes yellow on the tongue label, brown and blue on the overlays, and if you look closely, you're also going to notice that there's different designs on the overlays. Where the blue lies, it's a little more subtle, but this pair does have a lot of small details that really adds up. Now, this pair is releasing on November 30th, and the retail price will be $130. You guys might remember that back in 2018, Jordan Brand released the Air Jordan 1 Homage to Home. There was actually two versions that released. One was numbered, one was non-numbered, and now we've learned that there's going to be a restock on this pair, as well as the Satin Black Toe. Now, unfortunately, this is an exclusive to Taiwan, and I really tried not to clickbait you guys, so in the thumbnail I put Taiwan restock. I didn't want to be like some other YouTubers that would just plaster restock everywhere and then let you guys know this. But I know I don't have a huge audience in Taiwan, but I do know that there are people that watch these videos from all across the world. So if this can help somebody out, then I'm happy I was able to do so. Also, for people that live in the States, this could mean, now this is a stretch, but it's possible we could see a restock taking place in the States. Now it is the holiday season, and Nike and Jordan Brand definitely wants our money, so it is a possibility. I mean, we do have a lot of stuff releasing, but I do find it weird that this pair pops up on Nike.com in Taiwan. Now, for those that are wondering, you have to actually live in Taiwan to purchase. They'll only ship to a Taiwan address. I mean, technically, you don't have to live in Taiwan. If you know somebody in Taiwan, you can have them shipped to them. I'm sure there's certain things where you can have them shipped to a mailbox and then redirect that package to you. I don't know all the info on that stuff. I've heard of things like that happen. I don't know how true they are, but I'm just going to throw that out there. Now, for the release date, they are dropping on November 9th, and they'll be available at 6 p.m. We have a new image of the Air Jordan 11 Women's being called metallic silver. Now, I've already reached out to try and get a detailed look, so I'm waiting on that. And speaking of detailed looks, this weekend I'll have one of what I believe is the Air Jordan 14 Doernbecher. I spoke to someone that is expected to have this Air Jordan 14 on Saturday, and they told me they would send me images. Now, this shoe isn't confirmed to be the DB14, but if it's not, then it's definitely a quick strike release. And from what I have already seen, that shoe comes in all black and it has like quilted material on the side. Now, I do know the DB14 comes in black, but it'll also have purple and multicolor. The image that I did see, I didn't see any purple, but it was just of the medial side. Now, getting back to the Air Jordan 11, they do feature that higher cut patent leather, and running throughout we have glitter, I believe. It's definitely shiny. I'm sure a lot of women will like this shoe. Definitely will stick out as well. Up top we have white leather, metallic silver lands on the Jumpman, white on the midsole, and then a translucent outsole. Now, as for the release date, this pair drops on November 30th, and the retail price will be $220. We have some new images of the Air Jordan 11 Bred. Now, if it was only new images, I probably wouldn't share them just because we've seen them so many times and there would be nothing new to add. However, I would say that we do have some new information. It might be minor, but more so talking about a shock drop. Now, I'm not sure why, but over the past 2 weeks, I've gotten a ton of emails asking about the shock drop of this shoe. Now, first up, there is no confirmation that a shock drop is going to happen. However, if I had to bet, it would be that a shock drop would happen. Now, the whole reasoning behind these shock drops is just to drop them out of nowhere. That's kind of the shock of it. So myself, including anyone else that gives information or news out, wouldn't know about a shock drop, at least as far as the date. Now, if there's going to be one, you can expect it to take place either late this month, possibly Black Friday, or in early December. And even though this is a shock drop, there's going to be a wider release. A lot of people think that since it's a shock drop, they're not going to release at additional retailers or even online at sneakers, but that isn't the case. I believe that these shock drops are just for hype, so when they do drop the rest of the pairs, that they'll sell a lot better. Now, that didn't really work out well for the Cool Gray 4s, although that is a nice pair. The Bred Air Jordan 11 is in a totally different field. This shoe is going to sell out. Maybe not first day in every size. I'm sure a lot of the main sizes will go first day. Also, you're going to notice that there is more images floating around, and each pair comes in the OG box. Now, a lot of people think that the box is like the Concord Air Jordan 11, but that isn't the case. I'm not sure why, but the Jordan 11 Bred actually released in the brown and red box that the Air Jordan 12 released in. So that will be the box that we're getting this year, if you didn't know already. Also, each pair will come with a card, and I couldn't find a clear image of that card so I could read it off to you. But in one of these photos, you'll be able to see the card in the background. Last thing I want to touch on is I'm seeing a lot of people already selling these on Instagram, and to be honest, I wouldn't trust it. They're obviously going to charge a premium price, and to be honest, I would just wait until the release date. Try to get them at $220. If you can't get them at $220, they're not going to be much more than that, but that's just my opinion, of course. And for the release date, they drop on December 14th. Now, this has yet to be confirmed by Nike or Jordan Brand, but that is the date that's been going around for months now, and the retail price is set at $220. Now, make sure to leave a comment below. Let me know if you plan on grabbing this shoe in December or any other shoe that I featured in this video whenever they release. And that recaps the news. Like always, we post it first on SneakerFiles.com, and then we take it to YouTube. Like always, I appreciate you guys watching this video. Hopefully, I can get those images of that Air Jordan 14, because honestly, from what I saw, now again, I am biased to that model just because it's my favorite. Also, before I forget, either Friday or Monday, I'm going to leak something from Nike. It's going to be an OG model in the Olympic colorway that is returning in 2020. Also, I do believe Jordan Brand is doing something for the Olympics. I don't know what as of yet, but as soon as I get that info, definitely will make sure to let you guys know. Currently, I'm trying to track that down. Other than that, if you have a second and haven't done so already, greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe by hitting the red button below. Again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned to SneakerFiles.com. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe.